I'm also British JTLive and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings. The series, of course, will go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United. And we have a little talk about it. And boy, there is just 3 days left of this transfer window. 3 days left for Leeds to finally make a signing. Will we finally do it? Will that South Stand finally get its last signing? We're going to find out in just a moment. But before we do, we are so close to 4,000 subscribers. Walking our way here. So if you could help support me, support you, and stay up to everything on the channel by subscribing and slap that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. But this time I'm time to get straight into the meat of the action. The first story is coming out of Ellen Road, and it's coming out of James Marshman, and it is surrounding a player leaving Ellen Road. And there's been a few rumours rumbling around the jungle today that Jack Harrison might be on his way out of Ellen Road. I know, crazy stuff. I don't know how this rumour is still being banded about, but apparently it is apparently being talked about as part of a make way for the Hwang Hee-chan move. First of all, makes absolutely no sense because Hwang Hee-chan, for however good people think he is, he's not on Jack Harrison's level. All right, there is levels to this game. He is nowhere near Jack Harrison's level. Jack Harrison is 10 times the player that Hwang Hee-chan is at this current moment in his career, granted. But it doesn't make any sense that we would sell him to fund him anyway. The only one that makes somewhat sense is Dan James. But nonetheless, the rumours have been there that he could still be on his way to Newcastle, despite the fact they've just spent £63 million on Isaac. So I don't know how they're going to be able to afford him anyway. But yes, James Marshman has come out pouring cold water on those rumours. Those are only rumours, it's all they are. However, the latest rumour is one that's a little bit more tasty and one a little bit more palatable for Leeds United fans. And that is that Leeds could be signing Brereton Diaz. That is right. There has been so much talk about Brereton Diaz. It started off with Leeds last January, or rather in January, technically last January, because we're not too far away from the new January coming up. But in the last January transfer window, there was a lot of talk about Brereton Diaz coming over to Ellen Road. Since then, it's gone a little bit calm, a little bit dry. There was a few rumblings about it early on in the transfer window, but it kind of fell away, and everyone was like, you know what, fair enough, mate. He's not really up to the caliber of Leeds United, is he? He's not up to that high caliber at this current moment in time. Is he someone that's really going to help Leeds? Is he someone that's going to help get the goals? Yes, he can play anywhere across the front line. Yes, he can even play in the attacking midfield role if needs be. And there was talk about him going for £15 million, but because Leeds weren't pulling the trigger in him, you thought that basically they'd seen he's not really much better than what we've got, and we don't really need him. But given the current injury circumstances, we just need bodies in there. We need bodies in that attacking position to bolster up the squad, bolster up the depth of the squad. But then again, it looked like he was going over to Everton, Brereton Diaz. It looked almost certain that he was going to end up over there, but they've just gone and signed Neil Mopai, who seemed certain he was going to go to Nottingham Forest. So everything has had an absolute 360-degree spin, Beyblade style. And right now, it doesn't really look like anybody is going to end up in the clubs that they were looking like they're going to end up at. And potentially, there could be a little twist and Brereton Diaz could be joining Leeds. Now, obviously, it came out a lot earlier as well that Blackburn were very keen to offload him. And it did seem like it was going to be £15 million. Now, however, it is being reported that Blackburn want £20 million, which is absolutely ridiculous if you ask me. Yes, he's 23 years old, but come on now. They don't have that much financial strength to force the team to muster up £20 million. Just seems a little bit mad for me, a little bit unpalatable. The Toffees had apparently also, whilst leading the race to sign him, bid £17.5 million in installments. However, Leeds apparently are tipped to make a last-second snag over the top for him, and it does look like Leeds could be keen on potentially getting him as a man to fill in the squad, bolster up the squad depth, as an extra addition to the Wilfred Gnonto deal. However, would this also include losing a Daniel James? I don't know. However, the Daniel James thing, is it over? is it not? That's the next question we got to ask ourselves. And Paratici, should I say, who is, of course, the sporting director at Tottenham Hotspur, is apparently very, very, very keen on Daniel James, and he has come out saying that he does quite like the Leeds United winger, thinking that he would fit very well into the squad. With Football London's reliable reporter Alistair Gold also revealing that Tottenham have seriously considered James amongst several other targets for the role. However, this is big news, because I was hearing a lot of people saying, mate, this is just something contrived by the media and Leeds fans, or even the Leeds squad, or not Leeds squad, but the Leeds board, in order to drum up some interest in Dan James, potentially raise his price. But this quote here coming out from the Tottenham sporting director, or director of football, should I say, that's pretty big. You know, it confirms the interest, it confirms the rumours, and it confirms what I've been saying all along, that Dan James is a world-class player. Am I right? But seriously, though, £20 million, I think a lot of Leeds fans would actually be happy with that. But then it does come out later from Leeds United. They clap back at the Tottenham owner, or Tottenham sport director of football, if I can get it right, saying that they are pretty adamant that Dan James will not leave. And this is coming out of a reliable source, journalist Pete O'Rourke. There has also been a lot of talk about Cody Drameh potentially exiting Ellen Road. Obviously hasn't really been getting a lot of game time in the league, stuck behind Rasmus Christensen, who he himself hasn't really been performing great. So if there's ever a time for Cody Drameh to get in, it would be right now, especially with Luke Ayling weeks away from recovery, shall we say. We don't know how long it's actually going to take him. He could pick up another niggle. We don't know. However, it doesn't seem too far away from him coming back into the first team and rivaling both of them for that starting right back role. Now, what does this mean for Cody Drameh? I think he should stay. I think he should get a crack, and I'd actually give him an opportunity in the next game. Yes, he wasn't amazing against Barnsley when he did play. I do have to concede that, but he's got a lot of talent, and I think I do want to bet him into the squad. If we put him out on loan, I don't really see him coming back again. So I don't really see Noel Whelan's point on this, saying that he is urging Leeds to go through the rumours and sell him, but that is another story nonetheless. And finally, another story which is not going to please Mr. Joe Wayman over there, and that Leeds United signing Southampton striker Che Adams before Thursday's transfer deadline day isn't on the cards as things stand, according to Sky Sports reporter Tim Thornton, which is exactly what I was saying, exactly what a lot of people were thinking. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to sign him, or signing him in general. And finally, one man who does make a little bit more sense to sign is Wilfred Gnonto. We were speaking about this yesterday, or Gnonto, should I say, about how Leeds were making steps in the right direction, and now Leeds are apparently in pole position, with the Whites already seeing a £4.2 million bid for the 18-year-old turned down, and are currently in the process of preparing an improved second offer. The initial rejection appears to have given the Premier League club hope that they can hijack Jesse Marsch moves for a teenager. However, a fresh update would suggest that the opposite is true, with Jesse Marsch's side keen to bolster up the squad with a second bid, or bolster up their chances of improving the squad with a second bid. But let me know what you guys think about all those moves down in the comment section down below. But for now, guys, I will see you very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.